I want the NATO summit to be a success, and we will be working with the Germans and with others to see that there is a common NATO position. This is no time for one to compromise or somebody not to compromise. We've made proposals to the Germans. I expect we'll be hearing from them soon, and I'd prefer to do whatever negotiation amongst allies that is required in private, recognizing that we all want the NATO summit to be successful. And there's a lot of public discussion of this issue, and that's fine. I don't plan in detail to join in on that public discussion. The U.S. position is well known. NATO's last stated public position is well known, and we're prepared to go from there.
Sounds like you're ready to negotiate.
Well, I'm always willing to negotiate, but we're not going to go for any third zero or getting SNF out of whack in terms of negotiations. So let's be clear on that. But certainly I'll be willing to discuss these issues as we did in a very constructive way with the Prime Minister.
What did you say to the President about the SNF?
Well, what I said to the President was that NATO was founded on, in my judgment, two concepts. First, solidarity, and secondly, the American leadership of the Western Alliance. And it's the solidarity that has brought about the success that the West has engendered thus far, and we have to stick together on all of these fundamental questions, and we will. NATO is a grouping of sovereign, independent nations. There is going to be vigorous debate, unlike the Warsaw Pact. In NATO, there are independent nations who get together and who come together willingly under a common shield to achieve common objectives. And so while there has to be this kind of debate, in the end there must be solidarity, total solidarity, and there must be a common view of leadership which has served the world so well for 40 years. Now we're going to Brussels to celebrate the achievements of NATO. And that's exactly what we are going to be doing. And that is why we look forward to President Bush's presence there to celebrate that particular achievement in which the United States has played such a pivotal role.
Did you urge the President to begin negotiations on SNF reduction, sir? Did you urge the President to begin negotiations on SNF reduction?
Monsieur le Premier ministre?
I'm sorry?
Did you urge the President to begin negotiations, to at least back negotiations on SNF reduction?
I just said what the position of Canada is in regard to, there's one NATO position. This is not an association where everybody freelances. We have a common NATO position, and while there are divergence of views that emerge from time to time, the object of our getting together is to harmonize those views into one position, and that's what we're going to be able to do.
This lady here in the front row. Yes. This.
All of the North jury is supposed to return to Vernon. I was wondering if now you would discuss with us your trip to Honduras, as they're about to come in and you couldn't affect their verdict one way or the other, and what happened there, whether or not you made some arrangements to give a quid pro quo for Honduras.
How do we know the North, I haven't heard, is going to be in at 2 o'clock with a decision? Honduras, there was no quid pro quo. Everybody that attended the meeting says there was no quid pro quo. And for those who suggest there was, the onus is on them. The word of the President of the United States, George Bush, is there was no quid pro quo. The records of the meeting demonstrate that there was no quid pro quo. Thank you for asking that question. Yes.
Yeah. Mr. President, was there any implication?
No implication, no quid pro quo, direct or indirect, from me to the President of Honduras on that visit.
Did you in that meeting, did you discuss aid to the countries that Hondurans compliance with our request that they have?
We are brief. I am going to insist that the congressional committees, now that the jury is in or out, be briefed fully on the confidential cables that bring up every fact of that meeting.
Mr. Mulroney,
Yes. For me or? Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
That you didn't want the third zero. That still allows the possibility of reducing the number of short-range nuclear weapons.
Look, my emphasis will be on conventional force reductions, and we will be talking very soon with the Germans on a proposal we made to them. We've listened very carefully and to the constructive suggestions that Prime Minister Mulroney has raised, and that's really all I care to say about it. I want the NATO meeting to be a success, and one way you guarantee success is not to go out and fine-tune nuanced differences that may exist between various staunch allies. And so the German position was made public last week, and I will continue to work with the leaders of the NATO countries to see that we have a successful summit. Here's what we're gonna do to be fair. We're gonna rotate these questions. The next one is for the Prime Minister of Canada.